Hi everyone, in the past when I was showing you some of my succulents, I have been criticized for having pets around some of my succulent plants, especially euphorbias. So in today's video I wanted to talk to you about how to have succulents and pets and to share tips that will help you prevent pets getting into your plants. So most of the accidents with the plants have happened for me when Kylo, our dog, or our cats were young, so puppy or kitten. So number one tip is teach your pets that it's not acceptable for you that they chew your plants or knock them over, pull them out of the soil, and so on. Our pets do care about what's important to us, and when we are displeased with something, they do learn from that. To give you some examples, I mean, Kylo was awful as a puppy. He was very, very destructive. He has chewed so many shoes. Really, anything that you leave, he would chew so fast, and with his Doberman teeth, he would just destroy stuff in seconds, like piece of clothing. Leather shoes, I think, were the worst loss. My husband lost a lot of his work shoes, and he no longer does that. As you can see, he is much better. What are some of the ways you can show your pets that you're displeased? You can increase your voice. They do get scared when they hear that, and they know that you're displeased. With dogs, you can say bad dog, you know, or good dog. Just whatever you use for usual dog training, it's going to work with plants as well. With cats, you can use, as well as with dogs, spray bottles. I was reading about that, and I have used that. So when you see them approaching and trying to play with a plant, it needs to be unexpected, and you need to have time to do that. You need to spray them so they know that it's not something that you are doing to annoy them, but it's related to their activity with plants. So those things definitely help. I think that Kylo has learned. He did have interest in the beginning and got better and better over time. He's actually gonna this year turn, very soon, 3 years. So he's a much more mature big boy. So I just quickly wanted to share the story about one of the shoes. I was really upset if my husband forgot to remove the shoes from the entrance or leave the doors open where our dog can access shoes, because I don't have a lot of shoes and a lot of clothes, and I don't like to replace it if it's worn. And I just purchased these boots and I really like them. And a dog chewed one of them. So my husband knew I would be really upset, and I didn't know about this until a year after he finally admitted. He realized that the shoe is chewed, and he was searching online this brand and found the pair and the size. And he succeeded to get it while I was at work to have it mailed at home, and then he just replaced the shoes, and it all happened in 7 days. And he said, oh, I was so lucky you were not wearing those shoes during that time. So he was very sneaky, but then a year after he told me how he dealt with the problem. So number two tip that I want to share with you is keep your plants elevated if you are really struggling with pets attacking your plants. So the more than one way you can keep your plants elevated. When I just started collecting succulents, I kept my plants about 6 feet on a 6 feet shelf, and I attached the light on top. So cats were actually not going there because it was very like packed with the plants, so there was nowhere to jump. The other way you can do it is just like I have the planter here. And with euphorbia, when planters are really tall, My cats have never been jumping on top of the planter or knocking the over big planters like with Sansevierias or ZZ or Adansonia and so on. So as you can see, this planter where I have my Euphorbia turocalis 6 on fire is pretty tall. Cats really don't climb this tall of a planter and try to chew the plant, so dog also showed no interest. I have some other big planters like this philodendron here, and again nobody has shown interest into really tall planters. They also have no interest in the shells, like shells with the lights. They will come and sniff. So with cats, I had so much problems that I had to have at one point plant room that I kept closed. And I started allowing them while I'm in the plant room to be there with me. And then if they do something that is not okay, I would just kick them out. So they learn and they started just chilling around the plants, coming to nap there. And now my plant room is accessible for dog and cats, and so far nobody has been messing around with them. Third tip that I would recommend you that worked really well for me is I use my cacti collection. This is going to be a problem if you don't collect cacti, to place on the outside of the shelves or the spaces where I keep plants. So pets would have to reach some softer succulents, they would pass cacti fence, and none of my animals messes with cacti. Maybe they have accidentally tipped them if they're in small pots, but they do not chew cacti. They're smart. So pets are smart. In regards to euphorbias do have a toxic sap. A lot of tropical plants are also toxic for your plants. So if you would be looking at the list of those plants that are toxic, you would have to probably cut your collection to a quarter of what you have. At least I would have to. But animals are smart. They don't just chew whatever. Make sure, and that's another tip, that your pets do have toys so that they're entertained and they don't do it from boredom. Really, in my experience, my pets haven't done it from boredom, mostly from curiosity. When I first introduced plants and they didn't know what you can do with plants, what they're supposed to do with them. And number two, when they are angry. When I first time left Kira home, and I left to visit my family, Kira was still a kitten. She was exposed to plants, tropical plants that I had at the time. I had some Dracaena, I had Syngonium. She never touched those plants. And then all of a sudden, when I left for vacation, my friend that was daily spending time with my cat, she came and she climbed the Dracaena, knocked it over on the ground, then dig the soil out of the pot and pretty much shredded the Syngonium. Now she sleeps regularly with Syngonium and doesn't messes around with it. I'm gonna just show you one of her sleeping spots. So here is Kira in her usual, one of her spots actually, sleeping spots. She also sleeps in the entertainment center in one of the shelves. She likes to sleep on a couch right above Kylo. And but this is her spot here with Syngonium. What, Kira? Are you good to plants, Kira? Yeah, you have learned. You're a pretty good girl. Yeah. But you were a little mean to plants when you were a kitten. Yeah. And here's her sister. She also sleeps around this plant. She likes to sleep on the top of this chair. Callie is probably the main one that causes stuff being knocked over. I don't think she has any more interest in chewing anything. She's just very playful and adventurous. Climbs any space, unlike Kira, who will not really climb much the tables. This one climbs anywhere, and is always like trying to hunt something. We had birds coming here in front of the porch because we had some food here, and also we have a bird feeder. So she's, yeah, she can sometimes, in an attempt to fast move or look through the window, knock over stuff on her way. So I make sure to have some, so another tip that I can share with you is leave some space on the window sills for your cat to sit and look. So because they do enjoy that, and if they have a space, they will probably not knock over plants. I'll show you one cute picture of Kira that I made when I left a space in the dining room for her.
This is how she sleeps over there, guys. She blends well with the colors of Entertainment Center. So she's hardly noticeable here. Hey, Kira. I woke her up now.
To this day, my animals still will show me their frustration or anger by trying to shake my pods. They don't chew them, but they will try to knock them over. So I will show you this shelf that I have here in front of the bedroom, where I had some accidents and some pots have been knocked over. Now this area here in front of the bedroom is sometimes affected by pets. Because they will stand here in front of the door. They're not allowed to sleep with us because they're very naughty, and they would wake us up at 3 a.m. So they know when it's time for their breakfast, so they may start creating commotion in front of the door, or if I'm doing something like taking a shower and I didn't want them in there, they may start shaking things. I have in the past heard this sound. This is what Kylo does with his nose. He would like push my pots and shake them. He doesn't even always knock them over. We also, when we had a little campfire here and we were making hot dogs and we had friends over in the yard, and he was really upset because we didn't let him out right away, and he would shake these pots. Like he would go and try the ones that are easier to move. Like this one he wouldn't because it's harder to move, but whatever is kind of roundish and wobbly he would move. He has also grabbed mineral rocks in the past and just take them to the other part of the room or put them in his bed. Yeah, you have done that. You know I'm talking about you. Yeah. You're very sleepy. It's morning and he has to nap a lot in the morning. If you are just starting to collect, I would just recommend you to introduce the plants while you are at home so you can see what's going on and how they react to them. And then as they're getting used to it, maybe you can leave the plants, but if you're not sure how they will react when you leave the house, you can just put away the plant in a different room. You can always have a plant room that you can close, or a greenhouse. That's always the easiest fix if you have money and you can afford it. They will then have no way to access your plants. I hope these tips, guys, have been helpful to you. I will see you soon in the next video.